A better and safer way to cook. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from Brava are Head of Sales and Marketing Travis Ray and Head of Product Zach Selmon. Great to see you again, Travis and Zach.
Thanks for having us, Fred.
Great to see you. Yeah, thank you.
Well, Brava is a countertop oven that cooks with infrared light, and it has other features as well that make it a perfect fit as an enterprise participant. This is new at the AgeTech Collaborative from AARP. Congratulations, Travis and Zach.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, from my experience, I'd say ease of use and safety are some of those key features. But I'll let you start off with more of an overview of how the Brava oven is really different.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest surprises, and I think you hit the nail on the head for the end reason why some people that are aging in place at home would like using the Bravo is because of the safety and the convenience that we'd really built into it. But one of the things that was most surprising to me early on in Bravo when we first launched in 2018 was how many seniors really were early adopters of the product. I always thought, when we were developing Brava, because it had a digital touchscreen and an integrated app and everything, that it would be really more for younger, early tech adopters. But one of the biggest groups sort of out of the gate for us was seniors. And in retrospect, it made sense because of the chamber size of our oven is really, it's a perfect size for one or two people at home, even though it can do cooking for four or even more people. It's a great size for those people at home. Two, some of the automated safety features, the fact that it stays cool to the touch and that it turns off when it's done cooking, I think was really nice for seniors as well. Um, and then we've got a lot of stories. I'll let Zach tell you about a few of them, but having to do with caregiving. Zach, you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, so it cooks with light, but it's the really interesting part about how it cooks is how these lamps behave. They really focus the energy directly into the food, and it gives us a lot more power and precision over how much energy we're putting into the food. And so the lamps are really powerful. Instead of topping out at 500 degrees, it can cook at about 900 degrees. So not just things you'd cook in an oven, but things you do on a stovetop. It can sear, but then because it turns off, you don't have to worry about cooking. And then that's all driven by software. So we have a lot of control over kind of building out the features and how much it's automating the cooking for folks. Um, and so there's even a camera inside that will stream what you're cooking to the phone. So the kind of combination of how it cooks and all of the different software features that we've made, it can actually kind of solve different problems for different people in different scenarios. So Travis mentions caregiver situations, kind of how we first started getting into the aging in place space. About a year after we'd been out, we heard from a couple that had been married for 50 years, and the wife had done all the cooking, and then she had a stroke. And the husband hadn't cooked in forever, and they were eating DoorDash all the time until their kids got them a Brava, and he was able to start making fresh meals at home. And from there, we started working with different, assisted living facilities and things like that. And kind of the combination of not having to preheat something, the fact that you can place it anywhere, it doesn't have any special electrical or ventilation requirements, that you're not worried about leaning over a hot stove top or forgetting to turn the oven off. That you're not rushing to get food out of the oven. A lot of these kind of things that create like anxieties about safety and forgetfulness and things like that, they kind of stack on top of one another to be to help give confidence in the kitchen, and then the fact that the food comes out delicious every time, that doesn't hurt much either. So it just helps people to kind of eat real fresh ingredients and enjoy it and have that kind of confidence to do things in the kitchen that they might not have otherwise.
Now, this works with an app which also enables kind of remote monitoring capability that can bring really some peace of mind to family members or caregivers, I suppose.
Exactly. So we have the camera inside, which is great. It helps you see what's inside while you're cooking. It even streams it to the app. And we used it a lot at the beginning to kind of train our recipes and things like that. But as we started getting into this space, we realized that it had another kind of really useful benefit for caregivers and things because they can connect to the app and get a notification anytime the oven is in use. They can even see what's inside the oven and even shut it off remotely if need be. The other kind of fun part about it is that you can see the history of what's been cooked. You can see how it's been set up. And so people can help troubleshoot or help figure out if somebody's having an issue with a given recipe, they can see what's in there and give feedback on how to improve the results the next time. The other kind of use case for that app for caregivers and other situations like that, there's 95 or 9,000 recipes that are built into it, which can kind of be overwhelming for some folks. But somebody externally, a caregiver or someone can actually send the recipe directly to the oven remotely so that somebody just has to put the food in and press the button. You can even build your own recipes. You can set up bake at 400 degrees for 30 minutes and then sear the top to melt the cheese for 2 minutes. And someone can remotely set that up and send it to the oven or even save it into the favorites so that it's all set up and just kind of a button push to cook later on.
Yeah, you have to imagine, Fred, being an adult and having parents that are aging in place and being in a caregiver position, how powerful that camera and the remote monitoring really has been for some adults that have parents that are aging in place because of the fact that they get a notification anytime their parent starts cooking, and they can go and check and see what's cooking. They can shut it off remotely. But it's nice. And I remember early days at Brava when I had first taken it home, I would be in meetings and get a notification that my wife was making something at home, and you can just kind of see and take a look and pop in there. And I remember at one point even sending her a text being like, "Hey, how are those hamburgers or whatever it was that she was cooking?" And she was like, "Wait, what?" But yeah, it was
The
a
other really,
really
oh,
nice
sorry.
feature. And we thought originally it was going to be for like dads that wanted to check in on something while they were watching the football game, or maybe somebody that was wanted to check in on what they were cooking when they took the dog out for a walk. But it turned out to be much more than that, in way more useful in ways that we couldn't have predicted.
The other really exciting thing about the app that just came out in December, and is another example of how, because it's software driven, we're constantly pushing updates that we're always getting better, is that we just pushed the ability to fully control all of the recipes on the oven using the phone so that it works with screen readers, so that people that are blind or have low vision can use the screen readers on their iPhone or Android and get all of the instructions. So imagine making poached eggs when you're blind and trying to boil the water, know when it's there, get it swirling and crack the egg in and get a perfect poached egg. Really tough, but with the Brava, you can set it up with the screen reader. You just crack the eggs into the egg tray, put a tablespoon of water, and put it into the cold oven and press a button, and it does everything for you. So we're kind of constantly adding new features to try to simplify it and improve it for different scenarios and build kind of these modular feature sets that can be combined to give kind of a bespoke experience depending on each different user's needs.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, these get updated all the time, and the recipes show up on a touch screen on the oven, and you have that on the app as well. So it's really convenient. If you don't have the phone handy, you're just at the oven, and you can pick a recipe, even search for it. But you also have the ability, and this is key here, to simply set the time and temperature to bake or toast, whatever you want to do, the way you would do with any other, I guess, countertop oven. You can do all that manually if you choose to. So that option is there, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have
Exactly.
almost 9,000 fully automated recipe programs. And one of the great things about Brava is you can take full control of it using any of the manual modes. So with Brava, you can toast, you can bake, you can reheat, You can sear. And in Brava, the sear is way more powerful than a traditional oven, and it's unique because in a regular oven, you get broil, but only goes from the top down. And in Brava, we can sear by using the bottom lamp, so it's bidirectional. It can go top and bottom sear, and way faster and more powerful than a traditional oven. With Brava, you can also air fry, you can dehydrate, we have a keep warm function, and even a rice cook function. So you can do literally any kind of cooking. The only thing that Brava cannot do is cook a whole turkey because the chamber is too small to do that.
Unless you get a real small
And
one.
Travis mentions the reheat functionality. The reheat functionality doesn't really have an analog in any other kind of appliances because of how powerful it is. It's basically the time and experience of reheating something in a microwave, like you doing reheating leftover pizza or something like that, might take a minute longer than you do it in a microwave. But because it's not microwaves, it's actual infrared, it actually crisps everything up. So it's really the best way to reheat anything. It's
Yeah, a
my
good
most used
example is,
feature. I put everything in there for reheat.
for example, a piece of cold pizza. Fred, if you were to put that in a microwave, we all know what's going to happen. It's going to get soggy and chewy and terrible.
You can't pick it up.
You
You got to
can
use a knife and fork.
Exactly. You can reheat that in the oven, and it's great reheating in the oven, but you have to preheat the oven for 15 minutes before you even put it in there, and then it's going to be another 3 to 5 minutes after that. With Brava, it's 3 minutes from start to finish from a cold oven on our metal tray, and it's like that pizza came out of the oven the first time. And the reheat is so powerful, Fred, that you can even reheat things that previously would never have been reheatable, like French fries. I never would take French fries home in a to-go bag before Brava because there's no way to reheat them without really like deep frying them again. And with Brava, it really recrisps them in just a matter of minutes so that it like refries them.
Contrast this, if you will. I mean, with air fryers are kind of very popular today, all over the place. Contrast that with what you're able to do with the Brava.
Well, we're not when we say air fry, what we're actually doing is emulating an air fryer in the sense that you would set up Brava using the same air fry temperatures and times as any air fryer recipe. But what's different about it is that we're not actually convecting hot air. We're not circulating hot air through the chamber in a way that an air fryer does. So we actually set up air fry so that it was more of like a catch-all program. So if somebody were really used to air frying something, or if we didn't have a recipe program, let's say for a frozen food, but there were air fry instructions and the customer wanted to use those, that they would have an option to do that. However, I will say that in most cases, we've already got the recipe program in Brava. So I'll give you an example. You could air fry French fries in Brava for sure, and they're going to come out great. But we already have a program in Brava for frozen French fries. And that program in Brava is optimized purely for the frozen French fries. And so it's actually going to do it faster than an air fryer and a little bit better than an air fryer. Um, so we always encourage Brava owners to search and to find the automated recipe program first. And if we don't have that, then we have the air fry function that you can go to and use, normal air fry times and temps.
Go ahead.
The difference is in how the energy is actually being transferred. So an air fryer is using heated air that it's circulating very quickly. So it's convective heat transfer. And Brava is using these lamps, so it's all just this direct radiant heat, and the heat that we're applying is much more powerful. Air fryers top out 400-ish, something like that. And because we've got the 900 degrees, we can cook faster, get a higher crisp. And when you can cook things faster, you actually have better results because there's less time for the moisture to evaporate out. So you end up with juicier vegetables and crispier exteriors.
Just terrific. So you've got safety, you've got convenience, and you've got great food here. There's a lot of innovation here, some technology. So tell us about the different models you have and pricing.
There's four sets. And the Brava is the exact same in all four sets in terms of its functionality and usability and the number of recipes, etc. The only difference between these sets really has to do with the number of accessories that come with it. So it's bundled in different packages. The Brava starter set retails for 1,295, and it comes with the metal and the glass tray, which will cover most cooking applications. The next set is called the bacon breakfast that comes with the all of our bakeware, which is a loaf pan, a muffin pan, and a square pan for baking brownies. It also comes with the egg tray that Zach had mentioned earlier, where you can fry or poach eggs. You can even make pancakes in this egg tray. Um, and then the last set with the Brava one, which has a metal door, is the chef's choice, which comes with all of the bakeware and the other stuff that I just mentioned, plus the chef's pan, which is an enameled cast iron Dutch oven, basically, that slides into our rails so that you can cook rice and make soups and stews. The last package for Brava is the Brava Glass, which was new in 2023. And that one has a glass door. The original Brava has a metal door. But the Brava Glass has a glass door. It retails for $19.95. It comes with all of the other accessories that I just mentioned, plus the wireless temp sensor, which was something new that we launched in 2023 with the Brava Glass as well. I will say too that the wireless temp sensor does work with any Brava. It doesn't have to just pair with the Brava Glass, so that any previous Brava owner that owned the metal door Brava can go purchase the wireless temp sensor on our website or on Amazon, and it can very easily pair with their existing Brava as well.
Just terrific. The website is shopbrava, Brava.com. Travis and Zach, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you so much, Fred.
Thank you very much.